everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing really well. Today I'm going to do another one of my look at my series. So previously I've kind of shown you, what have I shown you? All of my bronzers, all of my highlighters. That may be it, I actually can't remember. Today I want to show you all of my blushes. Now, I feel like I don't have many blushes, but also considering I hardly ever wear blusher, I guess I have quite a few. So I keep all my blushes in this pot. I think I bought these from Amazon. I tend to use Amazon rather than eBay, and I ordered like, I don't know, it came in a set of like a few of these, and then they also have inserts, so you can actually like split it, so slot something in the middle there, so then you have like maybe mascaras on one side or blushes on one side and bronzers on the other, but obviously I have enough blushes to fill the whole thing. I really like making these videos, and I think they're quite useful as well if you're someone who's got like a similar skin tone to me, or you kind of like the same kind of makeup that I do, then I find them quite useful. I like to see what people's favourites are if they're really pale like me too. So, of my collection, these are my two favourite most used blushes. The first one is by NARS. This is like a duo one in the shade Adoration, and it's got like this pale pink shimmery shade and then this hot pink shade. And what I tend to do is like mix them together and like dip my brush into both. And then this is what it kind of ends up looking like. Obviously I blend it out a lot more, but it's kind of got, when the light's not reflecting on it, it looks pinkier, and then when the light does reflect on it, it just looks really pale and almost like a highlighter, which I quite like. So yeah, I wouldn't say I've got a favourite between matte blushes and shimmery ones. Like, I like both of them. And then the next favourite of mine is by Too Faced. Again, I got this in a Look Incredible box. This is one of their Love Flush ones. First off, I love the packaging, and this is in the shade Funfetti, and I just think it's so beautiful. It's like a little bit darker, but there's colours in there. There's like purple specks and also like beige specks as well. I think the pattern on it is really pretty. It's like a picture of two rabbits, and I feel like this is a really nice, just soft blush colour. It's like a little bit peachy, and I do find this quite pigmented. There it is there. It looks quite smudged out on the camera. I would say it's quite pigmented, so I only tap into it like a couple of times. Again, with the NARS one as well, if I ever go into when I go into the hot one, the hot pink, I'll probably only tap it once, but tap into this one like twice or something, and like a 2-to-1 ratio. But I really like this Too Faced blusher. I liked it as soon as I put it on the first time. I just thought that was lovely. So they're like my two most used ones. And then I also really like some blushes in here. This is a blusher palette by Sephora. My brother bought this for me when he went to Seattle. And inside we have 3 kind of different tones of pink, but then within that there's half of the square is matte and half of the square is shimmery. I said that weird, shimmery. Which I really like, and what I tend to do is just mix them together really, because I like a bit of everything. I would say I use this one here the most. I never really go into that one because it seems like a bit too dark for a blusher for me, and then that one's quite hot, so I would only tap into that lightly, but I will swatch them all for you. And they are what the colours look like. So the one I use the most, then the kind of brownier one, and then the hot pink is there. As I kind of stuck my fingers in a bit there, and actually feel like I think the glittery stuff is just an overspray. So I think once you get past it, it's actually all matte. So only half of it is just sprayed shimmery. But I really like this, and I do really like the pale pink shade here. I think it's really, really nice. I feel like they're nice and pigmented enough. They blend in well enough as well. I really like them. Now, I have got two blushes here that I've had for a long time. I think I'm going to have to throw them away. Even though I really like them, I don't even think that they sell them like this anymore. I don't know. They've probably updated their packaging, but these are by L'Oreal, and these are two blushes, and they're just called Le Blush. They're both a pale pink kind of colour, but we have Luminous Rose, which is a shimmery one here, and then we have Rose Pastel, which is a matte one. I feel like they are quite similar colours, just one's matte, one is shimmery, and I really, really like them both. The shimmery one is actually paler, isn't it? Yeah. I really like them. I will swatch them for you, but I do think I'm going to have to throw them away. Even though I really like them and I feel like they're right up my street. I feel like what suits me, that's the shimmery one, and then that's the matte one. I feel like what suits me is like paler pink shades, because I'm pale. I can't have anything that's too deep or too purple or too hot, or too orangey or peachy. I feel like a nice like pale pink will do me. Okay, now on to ones that I think are really nice, but they're not my absolute favourites. There's this little one by Ciate. This is called Matchmaker. I got this in a box, and this is a beautiful colour. So when you look at it, it's kind of like a deep pink purpley colour, but it's like got a marble effect there with some kind of goldy bit inside. This is a really, really pretty blush. Part of me thinks it's a bit too dark for me, but it's got such a beautiful, like, fine bits of glitter. Overall, it looks like it's just got like a sheen to it. It's really, really nice. I would love to see if they had more colours and if they kind of had more of a pale pink one, but I feel like the formula is really nice. Yeah, and I like how much, like, it's got a little bit of glitter, looks like it's just got a sheen to it. I really like that. And then we have the Urban Decay Afterglow. This is an 8-hour powder blush in the shade Obsessed. So that is the colour there. I picked this out, it was still in the box. And I feel like it is a nice colour, but it's kind of got that purpley tinge to it. You know when Barbie Pink goes a bit purple, and that doesn't really suit me. I feel like it is a nice colour, but maybe a bit too purple, maybe a bit too pale for me. There's something about it, the colouring is just a bit off, and I think it's because it's a bit too pale. Kind of like, you know, when you get a really new lipstick that looks like concealer lips, and it doesn't really suit your skin tone. That's what I feel like. Yeah, let me just swatch it for you anyway. I feel like these blushes are a bit powdery, and quite like dry as blushes, but I mean, it does blend in so nicely. And then we've also got another Too Faced Love Flush. This is in the shade Your Love is King, and I got this one after the other one, but it's just a bit too dark for me, really. It is nice if I'm going like on a night out or something, but it is just a bit too dark. And speaking of ones that are a bit too dark, there's this ASOS one in Acceptance, and you order things online and you think they're a certain colour, and then they end up not being that colour. There's those two there. This one is the ASOS one, and this one is the Too Faced one. They're both just a bit too dark. I feel like they'd suit someone who's more tanned than myself and like deeper skin tones, but for a blusher, they're not the best for me. But I still keep them. I don't really know why, because I don't really wear them that much, but I still think they're really nice. And then we have a stick blusher. This is by NARS, and it's one of their matte multiples, that's it. This is in the shade Exumus, and it looks like this. I feel like it's such a nice colour. I never wear cream blushes, liquid blushes, anything like that really. Liquid bronzer, liquid highlight, stick bronzers or highlights. I just don't, they don't stick well with me. And this is quite a peachy shade. However, I feel like in the summer it looks so nice on my cheeks, and I only put a little bit on and then I blend it out, but I feel like it just gives my cheeks that something extra. And having it as a blush, like when you've got your bronzer on and then you've got this as a blush, kind of makes me look a bit more bronzed. So I do actually like that, and I am keeping it. I would actually like to see if they've kind of got like a pinky one that I can use as just a blush. I feel like when I used it, it went on top of my powder, because I always set my face, like my foundation, and then my bronzer, highlight and blush goes over the top of the powder. It went over the top of powder really well. Even when I was using my fingers to like blend it in, it blended in really well. It didn't take any of my makeup underneath off, which is a very big factor in my life when I'm deciding whether things work or not. Yeah, I really liked that as a formula, so I would like to see if they've kind of got paler pink ones. And now we're kind of moving on to ones that I just don't really use. So I've got two minis here from Benefit. We've got California and we've got Gold Rush. I've used California a couple of times and I do actually feel like it's a really nice colour and shade. However, it's just really small and I forget about it a lot, and also my blush brush is quite big, and like I had to tap in a bit and then try and tap in some more. So that's why I tend to not use that one. I would like to have it bigger actually. And then I've got this one called Gold Rush, which is paler. It's kind of like a pale nude. It would almost be like a highlighter for me. Actually, it is really golden. Maybe it would work as a highlight. It's there, because I could see that blending in nicely and just leaving the glitter. Yeah. And then this is what California looks like. This is like a very hot, peachy coral shade, I feel like. If I just blend it in a bit more. The thing when you swatch blushes is that you want the colour to show, but they always look really rich and pigmented when you swatch them on your hands. But actually, of course, when you use a brush and you only tap into it a little bit, you just get a little bit of the colour. But yeah, that again I think would be a really nice kind of shade in the summer. I'm still going to keep it. I'm going to make a mental note to myself to actually try this out more, and also try Gold Rush as a highlighter. And then we have Rockateur, I don't know how you say it. Actually looks like a really nice colour. Here it is on my hand there. It's actually really nice. It's because it's not as bright as like the light pinks that I like. It's more subtle. I quite like that. I would worry that maybe it would kind of morph into my bronzer a bit rather than looking like a standalone blush, but only time will tell. You have to try it really, don't you? There's the Manakadar blush in Paradise. I got this in a box and it's super pigmented. That was just by one tap. It's a bit too hot, like of a hot pink for me. And then we've got the ones that I just really never use. So Lord & Berry blush on a stick. This is a crayon blush in shade 8206 Peach, and I mean, to me it's not very peachy. It's more like when peachy goes a bit too orangey, and I wouldn't have that as a blush, so I need to just kind of bite the bullet and get rid of it. And then I've got these last two. So this is by Smashbox. It's their LA Lights blendable lip and cheek colour in a really bright shade. So that's the colour there. It is really, really bright. It does blend out quite nicely, but still looks quite bright. It's okay, but I never go for it really. And I actually can't remember. I must have tried it at some point when I first got it, but I don't actually remember trying it and whether it worked on top of makeup and powder and stuff. And the last little one is by The Body Shop. This is one of their lip and cheek stains. Just, I shouldn't have lip and cheek stains and lip and cheek sticks because I just don't really use them. In Vineyard Peach. There's a lot of peach today, isn't there? And this, in my opinion, is very orangey. I wouldn't use this orange on my lips because it's like too pale. It's quite watery and it's kind of blended out to nothing actually. So I'm not really sure how good that would do. If I put more on, maybe just tap it. No, it's not really blending, it's just like being soaked up by my fingers. It's not blending into my hand very well at all. No, I'm not keen on that, so I might just get rid of that one as well. So that is all my blushes. There we go, you have looked at all of them. I definitely think I'm going to have less going back in here than were in here previously. But yeah, if you're someone who has a similar skin tone to me and you kind of like the same kind of blush as I do, then yeah, I would really recommend the NARS one and the Too Faced one. And then if you can get to a Sephora, the little palette, I think it's really, really nice. And as well, if you yourself have any blusher recommendations of any blushes that you think I would like, I would love to hear them, please. I do feel like, even though the ones I've recommended are high end, I rarely go out and buy blusher. A lot of these I've got in boxes, and if I was going to go out and buy a blusher, I would probably just stick to drugstore because I feel like there's not much with blushes that, what would a high-end one give that a drugstore one wouldn't give? Like, I feel like in the drugstore you can get really pigmented ones, but you also don't want them to be too pigmented, do you? And so I feel like in drugstore they can be pigmented enough, and you can get such a variety of colours, and they're at an affordable price. So yeah, if you've got any drugstore recommendations as well, please let me know. But yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see any more of the Look at My series, then please leave a comment down below. I definitely want to do like a look at my perfumes, and then have I done liquid lipsticks? I don't know. I wanted to split my lipsticks up and do like lip glosses and then liquid lipsticks and then like bullet lipsticks and stuff like that. But yeah, right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in a few days in my next video. Bye.